Alright, DJ Nuts, welcome back to Coding in the Valley of Despair. So, as I've always mentioned, these little coding sessions are not tutorials. They just kind of show some of the day-to-day code I have to go through, and hopefully some people can get something out of it, you know, if you have any questions. Today I got to do some Woocommerce code, and basically I got a client that has 800 customers that need to be imported. So I have to take a CSV file, parse that, and then run that through the Woocommerce API. So just going to go through my process of doing that, and I'll kind of explain what I'm doing. But you know, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll answer them. But for the most part, I'm just going to be working and try to remember to comment. So here we go. So let me see. First thing I need to do is I already have a project set up in Eclipse, you know, so right here. And what I'm going to do is this: we want to get the Woocommerce API, so this we're going to be doing it with PHP. So first thing is, let's go Woocommerce PHP API, and you can see I've already done a little searching before. Alright, so the Woocommerce API is using Composer. If you don't know what Composer is similar to NPM for Node. So what I've done is I'm already in my project folder. So if you run this little bit of code, it will install the Woocommerce API, and we'll deal with that from there. So I've already done these steps here, which is basically setting up your OAuth keys and things. But let me just go ahead and do this Composer bit here. And if you don't have it installed Composer, or don't know how to install Composer, just look up PHP and Composer install. It takes a couple of seconds to install it. It's nothing big. If you haven't watched my video on my setup, I'm running Linux. This is Ubuntu, and it kind of goes over how I set up my Eclipse setup and everything. But won't get into that unless if you know, not many people watch these videos. So if someone watches and wants to know, I will happily make a video. Alright, so now that the Composer has done its thing, you see we have a couple of folders: a Composer JSON, a Composer lock file, and then a vendor file. And as you see now, we need to make an index file for this, index PHP. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll just do what I can do. I'll do it the lazy way. I'll just do touch index.php, and that should make me a PHP file. So alright, so I got that. Let's go ahead and get our file here. We have a nice empty file, and just go ahead and get our PHP, and now let's look at what we got. So basically we want to use, now this is straight from the Woocommerce PHP client, so we'll go ahead and pull this bit of code here and paste this down here. So we have that. Now let's see. So basically what we can tell from this is we have a URL for our store, consumer key, consumer secret, and then we have some extras. If you haven't dealt with OAuth, then this is a little bit confusing. I do have my first couple of videos is covering OAuth, but I'm doing a connector. I really don't explain much, but if you want to know about OAuth, will explain that next time I have a OAuth project, or I'll explain in the comments. But just look up OAuth. Like I said, these videos are for advanced to intermediate. So anyway, let me see. So what I've done, just to kind of avoid, you know, the things of the internet of having passwords and URLs out there, to kind of keep myself safe, I keep a config file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little config file. Alright, so I have a config PHP. I'm just going to drop that in here. And then what I will do is I will require that file for this. So I'll do require config.php. So we got that. And then I'm just going to swap out the store for my store variable that's in there. And I'm going to swap this out for my client key. And I'm going to do this as my client secret. Alright. Now these are just warnings saying that like it says it can't define, they can't figure out that those are defined, and it can't see that this saying that this is never used. It's fine. We'll see if it works. It should be finding it, but that's a whole nother thing. Another thing I do is I code with all errors on. So we'll put these 3 lines here of all errors on so we can see that. And now let's look at, go back down here. So we basically got this ready to go. Let me see. Let's hopefully we run this and we get no errors. So we have no errors. It's great. Let's make sure that it's actually doing something. I always just put a little or something there to make sure that, so life is good there. And another thing you might notice is I'm switching back and forth between desktops. I have, if you look here, I have a total of 12 desktop screens. You're only able to see 4 of them because I'm only capturing on 4 screens. So, alright, so on 4 virtual desktops, but I have a total of 12 when I'm working. So so that's what you see when I'm switching back and forth here. Alright, so next thing I need is let's look at what we got going on here. We're going to look at some of their examples, and they have example code, one example, and this is our example that we can use. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this. We're not going to use all of it, so let's go ahead and copy and paste it. Copy and paste this in the actual PHP block here, and we're going to be using the exception. So let's go ahead and put this in up here in the header area here. Okay. Alright, so this says results. I know I don't have any customers, and get URL, get method, and get body. I'm not going to use any of this. And let's see here, we're not going to use any of this right now, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of those. Okay. And so what we'll do is we'll get customers. I don't have any customers, so let's see. I believe they have a products endpoint. So let's go ahead and look up the Woocommerce documentation. So we go Woocommerce API documentation. There it is down there. And you see I've been there, peeked at this while I was talking with the client. And let's see here. We go REST API developers documentation. And here we go, products. So it has a products endpoint. Let's see what the curl looks like. Nothing. I believe this is just the straight endpoint. Let me see, products, retrieve a product, list of all products. Here we go. So let's see what this looks like in PHP. So it just says WooCommerce get products. Alright, so they do a print R. We can do a print R. So we'll do products. Alright, so they do a print R. I do var dump. That's my preferred. I don't know if they do the same kind of output, but let's experiment. So I'll do results. Okay. I'll help to put that outside. Alright, so there we go. So let's see. Let's run it. Alright, so we get products. Looks like there's not that many. So what I'm going to do is view page source, and we'll see what we got. So we got a few products in there, which is good, Okay. Alright. Alright, so next thing I'm gonna do is I just want to see what the printer does. What's the output difference? See if there's any kind of difference in output. It's a little bit different. Interesting. I'm really trying to. So we got array. Let me see. So you got var dump, and then you got the print r. Let me see what the difference was. There's a little bit of difference, but all right, choose your poison, whatever you like. I'm gonna stick with var dump for now, because I think mainly because I like the fact that none of it's really there is formatting. This stuff kind of comes in, so I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right, so there we go. So we've successfully connected to WooCommerce. So the next thing I'm going to do is we need to have some sample data, and what I've already done, but I'll show you how I did it, was I used this thing called what was it? It was oh man, it was I said generate dummy data, but it had a really cool thing called Macaru. There it is. This is really cool. Start using this in the future. I just found this today, but it makes mock CSV, JSON, all kinds of data. It's interesting. But I used Macaru, and it generated some dummy data. So I already have a mock data file. I'll drop this in, and gives me a nice little CSV file here. So I'll open it with text editor. So there's our mock CSV, and let me just show you what it looks like, a little more structured though. So basically the client needed their format comes out with dealer name, first name, last name, email, and then there's a date that they have that's associated with when the person signed up and everything. And right now we have, I don't know how many I have in here. I have 1,000 entries, which is great. So next thing we need to do is actually parse this data into a form so that we can format it for use with the WooCommerce. So first off, let's look at how WooCommerce needs to see these things. So we want to make a new client. So let's go our customer. So we go to customer. I'm going to create customer, and we see here's our endpoint, and it's a post method. So if we post and we send this array of information, it should create a customer. And based on this, let me see here. Alright, so based on this, see, so we have a first name, last name, dealer name, first name, last name, email, and date. So based on the WooCommerce thing, so we're going to have our email as our email, first name, last name, and we're going to use the email as the username. Then we'll do first name, last name inside the billing array, company name, so we can have a record of the company. We don't have any of this data, but we will put the email address again, and then we'll do first name, last name in here, and company, so in the shipping. So we'll just populate those fields repetitively, but we have to actually parse this CSV. If you do not know what parsing means, it's basically you have to go through each line and find a way to separate these out so that we can target, like, you know, this is a field, these are each fields, each part of these are data fields, so we need to be able to go and take each line and figure out what's what here. So that's what I'm about to do, and it's not that much code to do that, but if you've never done it, you might, you know, be a little confused. So, you know, this is why hopefully you're watching for just, you know, stuff like this. Alright, so first off, we don't need to continue to parse this here, or not parse, but, you know, process this page. One thing to make your workflow quicker is if you see now, and I can see a little earlier I was messing around with the parsing stuff. just to kind of make this go a little quicker. But there's multiple methods of parsing. So first thing I want to do is to keep from switching to the screen, coming down here, hitting refresh and stuff like that. We're going to use our console window here. If you're using Eclipse and following along, what you can do is you can right click on your PHP file, go to run as, and you'll just run as a PHP CLI application, and then you might get an error saying that your PHP is not set up, and it will pop a window open. If it does that, and you see that there's no PHP in there. Let me see if I can show you here preference. Right here, if you're under your PHP editor, this window would come up, and if you come in and you have a line like this set up, and it could be Windows path or something like that, but it's not bold, set it as your default and it will run properly. If not, you need to go and hit add and find your PHP install, like where your PHP exe or PHP executable on any PHP executable, depending on what it is, because there's not an exe on Linux, but just find your executable and set it as your default, and you will not run into that problem. And then from that point on, you can hit Control F11 and it will run this. So if you see now, if I go here and I put my in there and hit it, you see we get right there. So that's going to speed up things a little bit. So now we have our mock data. So let's go ahead and here's our file. So let's just call this let's call it raw data. So this is our raw data file. And what we're going to do is we're going to use fopen, and we're going to do, and that's file open, and we're going to choose the file, which is going to be our mock data.csv, and we want to use the read mode. Alright, and then from there, let's just go ahead and we can just echo the raw data. Okay, save, and what do we got here? What did I do wrong? Oh, it helped to have that in quotes. Sorry. So, have that in quotes. And resource ID. Hold on. Sorry, that's a pointer. Alright, so that's a pointer to the file. So we have to use another thing. Okay, we could do it a couple of ways. This one's going to use a pointer. We're going to use actually what is it? Let's see here. We are going to use, let's see here. Let's go into the PHP documentation. PHP read end of file. Alright, so we're going to read into the end of file. So we got test end of file on file pointer. So you have this. Alright. Let's do, well, first off, let's do this here. CSV. And I always get, this stuff is so much stuff. Don't be don't feel like you can't go into the documentation, because you're not going to remember everything. So what we're going to do here is we got fget file, get CSV, and it's going to get line from a file pointer and parse for CSV field. So this is what we need. So what we can do is we're going to do one of these numbers here. So we're going to say while not the end of the file of the raw data, okay, while not the end of the raw data, we're going to let's just print, actually let's bar dump. Let me just do that. I'm just going to keep using my bar dump there, and then we'll do fget CSV, and we're going to do that from the raw data. Alright, so let's see what we get here. So there we go. So now we now have all these little var dump array things, okay, which is great. So now that we have that, if we just want to get the email address, we know that this is index 0, 1, 2, and 3. So let's go here and let's just echo. And I like that PHP 7 allows you to do this now. You could just add the brackets there, and just add brackets, whatever those are. You put those in and put 0 for index 0. What we want is not 0 but 3. So we'll index 3, and we need to add a new line. So just do new line, and boom, there you go. So now, and we don't need this here. Alright, so there we go. So we have all of that ready to rock and roll. Next thing we need to do is, let's go back here, and I'm gonna just copy this, and right now I'm just gonna be using this as a guide. So I'm gonna just do just comment. Boom. Alright. Alright, so here we have an array. Trying to think of what's the... Alright, let's do this here. I'm going to take Alright, we're going to take this and we're going to call this customer. Call it new customer. New customer. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we're getting syntax error here. I'm sitting there, it's looking a little funky right here. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make an array the way I know I make an array. So I believe that's what it's asking for here. Let me check here. We'll test this out. Alright, so I'm going to do, first I'll just do this here just to make sure that and I don't, not that I'm doubting myself, but you know, things always change. So I'm gonna put PHP this. Yeah, it's just an array. And I want to see why we were getting a syntax error. So you can, okay, you can make an array that way, but for some reason when we get it here, we're getting, oh, that's why syntax error was that way. All right, so there we go. So we got this. So the email. So the thing, let's simplify our lives here for a little bit. So I'm gonna just do email. Actually, let's do this here. Call it C data. C data. No, let's not do C data. That's like XML. Cust data or cust info. Alright, so we'll do cust info, and here we'll do email. Email is cust info 3, and we'll do fname equals cust info. Let's do let's do these in order. Do customer, fname, lname, and I don't think we're not using the date at all, so we don't need the date. So we'll do, and we don't need this here, and we'll do cust info 0. Yeah, I was right. Custom info 0. And 1. I don't know why my cursor's looking a little messed up. 1. Wow. Really, cursor? Really? 1. 2 and 3. So terminate lines. Terminate lines. Alright. Now we don't need that, so we'll do email. And we will do fname. We're gonna do lname. We'll do email as the username, and then here we're going to just save ourselves a little bit of time, and then our company, customer info, company. Alright. And then we'll do this, company. And I don't believe that we need to have anything, we're not going to send anything that we don't have information for. I know the only one that is required is the email address. Get rid of this here. Alright, and then basically we'll just take first name, last name, company, first name, last name, company, and then we'll get rid of the stuff that we don't have. Okay. Alright, so we have new customer. Alright, so we have that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a all, we'll call it, I don't know if we can send multiples at once though, but we'll just call it all. Well, new new customers, and we're going to make that an array. Okay. Alright, so now we have this new customer, and we're going to do an array push, and we're going to push basically we're going to push into the new customers array the new customer. Okay. Alright, and then once we're done, we'll do var dump new customers array. My names are all off, but it's okay. So, and we'll just go ahead and get rid of this. I don't need this right now. And now see if it works. Boom. And company, we're missing all kinds of stuff here. Email's the only thing that's showing up, so raw data. So we got custom info. Oh, get rid of that new line. There we go. Let's try null. So this is the last few don't have anything, but we have this. Gallagher. Check data. Check the first one. Got a little problem happening here. Gonna be alright. So shit gonna be Marv. Okay, so something's happening here. Alright, so, oh, look at that. Sure y'all saw that the whole time and was like, you're messing up. There we go. And, oh, it's just everywhere. Everywhere! Okay. Sometimes the copy and paste gets me, but there we go. Company. Alright. Let me check that. Let's check the last. Alright. Alright, so another thing we want to do is you see how we have these nulls here on. So basically what I want to do is boom, is we're going to skip anything that's null. So I'm going to say if email email is equal to null, then we're just going to continue, and then that will just go ahead and should break the cycle here. Boom, there we go. It's a nice little check. Alright, so we have that, and so we have this fantastic array now of items to add. And so in theory, we should be able to take this code here, alright, so we should be able to take this, and the thing I'm thinking about doing is, alright, so we know we have our connection to WooCommerce here, and basically I'm gonna do my while loop here wrap around this, because I want it to try but log the error if there's an error, so I know which one doesn't get imported. So what I'm gonna do here is gonna go for each, and we know we have our new customers, so we're gonna say for each new customer as customer. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and wrap this around this way. Alright, let's go ahead and do our thing here. And now let's look at the API again. Let's see. And before I run this, I want to make a backup of my database so that I can definitely nuke this thing if it all goes wrong. But let's go. Where's the documentation page? Here we go. All right. So basically, what this is we're gonna do WooCommerce post, and I think what I want to do is I just want to do one as a test. But we're gonna just copy and paste that, and what we will do is we'll do WooCommerce post to customers, and then there's a JSON return here, and I'll figure out what to do there after the fact. So let's just go here. We're not going to use this, but we are going to just grab the result from here. So let's just grab the result. We don't need this. Alright, so customer, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to do this right now. We're going to just do a single line. Okay? I'm going to do a single line. But before that's done, let me go into my database here. And we're going to pull a full backup of this. So I'm going to go into my local host. A little off screen right now. Alright. So what I'm gonna do here, says default, export data. Alright, I'm gonna export data. If you haven't gotten into MySQL Workbench, you need to really download that. It's a good tool. It's free. Helps a lot. Helps out a lot of tasks. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna export this as a dump folder. I'm gonna put this in my dumps, and let's do classics. All right. I'm gonna dump all the tables, and then what I can do is let's see here, continue anyway. Alright, so that should have come down, so let me check before I move along. Like I said, this is just a local database,
Once upon a time,
but it's still a pain to deal with, like, you know, if you mess up your database and stuff. So alright, so I'm done with that. Let me go ahead and close that. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come here, paste this here, and then actually let's not do that. Let's grab this inner. Alright, so that should work, and then I'm going to do a var dump of the result, and then we'll figure out what to do with it. So we're going to var dump the result, but then I'm also going to do this just so that we can figure out what we're going to do with the result. So I'm going to do echo dot couple lines, not dot, echo a few lines, and then I'm going to echo the results as well. If I can type. Alright, hit F11, see what we get. Automatic. Curl is not installed on the server. So curl is not installed, so I need to do, so in order to do that, pop this up, Ubuntu PHP curl. It's a simple line, but you know, there we go. So then I'll just pop a terminal up, and this is the beauty of, like I said, Linux. You need it, you just get it, no problem. So just get PHP 5 curl. You must run to correct the problem. Okay, sure. What are you doing? Run this. Apparently something was interrupted before. Alright, now get oh no, it's not PHP 5 curl, we need PHP 7 curl. Alright, Ubuntu PHP 7 curl. 7 curl. How to install? Alright, so it's usually simple, and if you, that's what I'm running. What's the problem? Oh, PHP common. Let's try this. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, that I need to do, service Apache 2 restart. Alright, let's see if that solved the issue, and it's probably, might have to run it through the web browser instead of this. But let's see. Let's try it in the browser. Yep. Alright, so now we gotta come to the browser. So there we... Hold on, maybe not. That's probably all those things here. Undefined variable customer on 58. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna not show the customer array, and it's just because I'm running inside of here that's not installed. So where is it? Customer. So basically we're gonna do new customer, and we're gonna put, we'll do 0, actually 1, because I know that the first one is the bad record. I'll have to bump that out. Alright, so let's go switch here. Alright, let me go into, didn't get any kind of return. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the localhost panel. Localhost. Let me see here. Let's do the reason why I'm off screen is because I have to log into this thing here, and even though it's localhost, it uses some other information that doesn't need to be public here. Alright, custom fields, Woocommerce. Let's see here.
And handles like a rock star.
Introducing
the first ever Toyota CHR. Enjoy agile handling.
Alright, so
seductive crossover that comes with standard 18-inch alloy wheels. The first ever Toyota CHR. The perfect ride to spin your own tail. Toyota. Let's go places.
Okay, I see what's going on there. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just echo error, even though it's supposed to. I don't know if those are just sending out returns and not being printed or what, but let's see here. Alright, so we're getting an error. So let's echo the message. Missing parameter. Missing password, missing callback parameter. Alright, let's see here. Let me look at this. So I want to create customer, not coupon, customer. Create customer. So I'm guessing I have to add all of these fields that I don't need. That's the guess. I was hoping I didn't need to put all those fields in there. Let me see here. Yeah, it looks like I gotta add all the fields. It was a hope, you know, not that I was being lazy, but you know, I was being a little lazy. So let's just go ahead and copy this. Come on down here and alright, so so let me grab all the way to company. billing. Hold on. Oh, email address needs to be moved. So I'm just gonna move this down here just for sure this all matches up. And we'll just empty these fields. Alright, so let's empty fields there. And then we'll just go ahead and add the fields here. So this is the company. Alright. Alright, and then what I am going to do out of the mock data is I'm going to get rid of this first record here. So that's just the headers. No need to just write code just to skip it. Alright, so now we'll get the 0. And let's come here. Rest missing callback parameter password. Alright. Woocommerce. So basically what I need to find out is why it needs a callback parameter. So go Woocommerce, create customer callback parameter. Let's see how to create Woocommerce. You're submitting documentation fields. No, that's wrong. So right now, alright, hold on here. So basically I'm just going to search by this here. See if it's a WordPress error. So basically now I need to look up Woocommerce, create customer with API. Yes, if a customer is creating a So missing parameter, rest missing callback parameter. Alright. Missing parameters password. Is there
Once upon a time,
Alright, so let's do
refused to play by the rules. It flipped the script and made all the
WordPress create
featuring styling
user
by
and see if there's
and
some
handled like a rock star.
kind of thing
Introducing
here.
the first ever Toyota CHR.
Enjoy agile handling in the body of a seductive crossover that comes with standard 18-inch alloy wheels. The first ever Toyota CHR. The perfect ride to
WordPress
spin your own tail.
API.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Create user. Password for user never included, so let's see if they got an example. Create user. User name, first and last name, URL. Password for user never included. So let's do WordPress create user API example. I can see what the parameters are. It's not. Alright. We change. I'm gonna try something here. The mock data. So that this actually has to have a working email address. Alright, so we're going to do that. Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to put password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just try that. See what goes on here. Then we'll come down here. Try this. Array to string conversion on line 75. Well, that could be a good thing. Let me refresh. Okay. So I just want to let y'all know I successfully have made myself into a customer. I do not know if my password is 12345, but I'm about to test it. So I'm gonna log out. Is it 12345? 12345. Yep, that would be my password. So you have to actually put a password in there. Now let me check and see if I received an email. So I gotta go to my email box. And I'm going to go. Alright. I did not receive an email, which that is the desired result. But what I do need to do is figure out a way to generate some passwords or something. So, but overall, I should be able to enter like all these people. So let me I'm gonna try this right now. Hopefully it doesn't send out a bunch of random bad emails. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take let's see here, echo. So that's an array. Did we get a var? Let me see if I got a var dump on this here. So we did get customer, got a gravatar. Yeah, so we did get this. Which is good. So we got an array. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically say customer, we'll do customer, email, let's create it, okay? Cool, we'll just do that. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll get rid of this. Take this. And we'll put this in here. And then we can do, say if there is an error, we'll say,
introducing the first ever
we'll just put, even though that doesn't do anything for us, we'll just say echo
in the body of a seductive
error,
crossover that comes with
and
standard
then
18-inch alloy wheels.
We'll
The
do
first ever Toyota CHR, the perfect ride to spin your own tail.
we'll
Toyota.
do
Let's go places.
well, I got 2 tries in here. There's 2 tries. So we go error, and I don't know if the let's do this error, do error email. So we'll do the error email. There's nothing. But if we run into an error, so what I'll do is I'll say email before it tries. And this probably is the worst way to do this, but we're gonna go customer email. Okay. Alright, and then so we do error adding, and then we'll just do that. Hopefully that'll work. And then we'll add a new line so we can track it. It says it's never used. What's the best way to do this? Alright, let me get rid of this. I'm sure there's... be able to pass the... Alright. So here's my attempt. I'm gonna hope to get all these customers in. Let me make sure. First off, let me try another email address. Let me take this off screen. Alright. And what I'm gonna do before I do this, grab this, so I'll make sure that this isn't gonna try to blast out a ton of emails to people. This zero. Alright, so we'll come down here and I'm probably, let me pull this off screen, refresh. Alright, it says it was created. Well, that works. Let me check my email. And there's no notification, which is great. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to, let me go into this thing and delete my account real quick. Alright, so that was a lot off screen. Apologize. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, this. Alright. So that's the theory. I should be able to just run this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to localhost /sli classics. I'm going to run it. See what happens. So as this goes, I'm gonna localhost. Hope I'm not doing anything crazy. Localhost / flip over to another page. Alright, so I didn't have any. Alright, so you see these things are coming in, no problem. And these are all fake data from Woocommerce, but yeah, this is working out good. Let me refresh again because I don't want, like I said, so 725. It looks like it'll maintain that page. So we'll just watch down here. 86, 810, 29. There's only 1,000 in here. 44. So we passed the threshold that the client needs us to handle. And you know, seeing how just about an hour's worth of code saves many hours of data entry. There we go, 1,000. We should have like 1,006 users or something like that. But there it is. So there we go. And here's our thing. We can't refresh because it'll try to rerun that and everything. And the cool thing is now that that's done, we can go ahead and we can run other queries. So now, but we can also, let's go ahead right here, comment this out. Let's go back to the WooCommerce API, the example that it had. Say WooCommerce PHP API, and boom. And now we have customers in here. So let's go down here, and we remember this line here. We'll just go here. Actually, let's just grab this whole try-catch business here. We'll just grab that. Get rid of all this stuff we don't need. And that's F11. Does this thing really hate me? It does. Curl not installed. I don't know why I started acting up on that, but let's go to the web.
The perfect ride to spin your own tail.
And refresh.
Let's go places.
What do we got wrong? Oh, well, it actually would help to do a bar dump to see our results. And once we do that, and we refresh 5, view page source, boom, and there are our customers. And I don't know how many that the limit is on this. I'm sure we can have to probably look in the API on how many we can show at once. But now we have customers in here. So that's it. I don't know how long this video was, but we'll hopefully have a couple of edits I need to put in here, and but that is working with WooCommerce's API, getting started and adding customers, just a bulk amount of customers, and also parsing a CSV. And we also found out that you need, even though the documentation didn't say we need the password, we need to, I'll come up with a way of generating random passwords. I'm sure there's some kind of API for generating a, or some kind of library just for generating passwords and stuff like that. But we'll get that all worked out. But that's the gist of it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I thank you for watching. Take it easy. Later.